Everybody wants to get united. Like, what we gotta do is meet everybody on 149th Street at the bench.
So whether you've been doing graffiti for quite some time and you're getting bogged down, you're getting tired of your name, you're getting a little bit bored, or if you're newer to graffiti and you're kind of struggling to learn your name a little bit, I got a few suggestions for you to help you take a break from your name. And this kind of ties into a much bigger topic, a topic about something that's lost in graffiti, something that's kind of a lost art form, if you will, or at least a lost practice. You see, because way back long ago in the, well, New York times especially, people used to do other names in graffiti. They would have thematic walls and pieces of various things like I love mom or Merry Christmas or just any kind of holiday really, things that were telling a story per se. And you wouldn't see their name on it. I mean, at most you would see a hand style to denote who actually made the mural, but it was a lot more common for people just to do other words when getting up. And that's exactly the key here, because certainly we can look at murals and say, well, John, look at all these murals. None of these are necessarily about the graffiti artist per se. But that's not exactly what we're talking about here. We're talking about when you're actually out there hitting spots and getting up. And you don't have to make this other thing your permanent name. It doesn't have to be something you do all the time. It could just be something you do for a good time, and that's it. So here's a couple things you could do. If there's a holiday that's coming up that you celebrate, why don't you do a tribute piece to that holiday? A Merry Christmas wall or a Happy Halloween, something of the sort. Or what you can do is you can look to your peers. If you know other graffiti artists in person, or if you don't know any graffiti artists, you can go to Instagram, or any other social media and talk to somebody there that you know and do a little friendly name exchange. You can also do friendly battles as well. This is a lot of fun, and it's a great way for some friendly competition. Regardless, swap names with the other person in order to give yourself a break from doing your own name. And also, since they'll be doing your name, it'll give you a different perspective on how somebody else might handle your letters, which can give you some great insight. That is especially useful. Now, something that me and my friends used to do when we were coming up in graffiti was we would actually do half pieces, right? So I would, for example, do my friend's first two letters of his name, and then he would do my two letters, and then we would swap pieces, and we would finish one another's drawings. And then we would do the same thing the opposite way around, right? I would do my first two letters, and he would do his first two letters, and then we would swap pieces around once again. This is a lot of fun to do, and it's not always going to be amazing work that you produce, right? Sometimes you're going to produce absolute crap, but that's kind of the fun in doing it. It's kind of the process of feeling different things out, trying out different ideas, and seeing if you can adapt to what your friend has done. Now, for those guys who are a little bit more advanced, for those of you who definitely have a bunch of years under your belt, you know your fundamentals more or less, but you've kind of settled into a style and you're kind of struggling in order to find something new. Here's what I recommend you do. Write out the list of fundamentals. Letter structure, negative space management, letter name weight, letter name positioning, flow. I have tutorials on all of these in the playlist above. And then pick one or two of those fundamentals and focus a hand style around just those things while maintaining proper fundamentals for all of the other basics. So maybe, for example, you want to go ahead and mess with letter name positioning. Alright, well fine, you can focus an entire tag around that, and now all of your other fundamentals are working to support that one that you chose. This is a great way in order to force yourself out of your comfort zone, and once again, be prepared to fail. Be okay with producing absolute crap, because that's bound to happen. This is your opportunity in order to play around, kind of goof off a little bit, and just break away from your mundane tag that you do all the time. That's really the goal of this. This isn't even necessarily to get better. This is just for you to have a good time. That's really what this is all about. And obviously, if you found a different way for yourself in order to have a good time with your name, then that works perfectly fine too, and you can take all this information and throw it out the window. Whatever works best for you. Now, with that said, I should also note that all of these things I've recommended in today's video are also great ways to practice and gain information as well. But you have to go into it looking at it with that filter. But dudes, let me know how you keep graffiti fresh for yourself, and you know what, actually, let me know what fundamental you struggle practicing when it comes time for you to actually sit down and study, because we're working on a new sketchbook that's going to be a practice guide. It's going to walk you step by step through multiple different practices for various fundamentals about graffiti. In the meantime, if you want to jumpstart your graffiti pieces, then check out the books I published in the description down below. They really are the best books on the market for graffiti, no questions asked. And if you want the best how to do graffiti tutorials anywhere online, check out the playlist right over here. And I'll catch you guys back here next week. Thanks for watching.